folks, Maury at 316 Automotive, and my cameraman Reese is behind me. Say hello, Reese.
Hello, Reese.
Hello, Reese. There we go. We're working on the 2000 Saab 9.3, and if you come over here, last time we made a video, we were talking about the seat. As you can see, the seat is out of it. It was going forward and back in pulses, and so there was something wrong with it. The rest of the functions were fine, up and down, etc., etc. Those were fine, but the forward and back was just in pulses, and so it'd go like for a second or two, stop, and then a second or two, and then stop, etc. And so I took it out of there, disconnect, of course, the wiring harness, and then, as you can see, we're going to go over here to where I'm working on it. Here's the seat. I took off the side panel. The side panel was all busted up right here. You can see the adhesive I got there. This support was all busted up. You can see that. I got some wire on there and some JB weld. And this support was completely off, so I glued it back on with some JB weld and some white adhesive, which, who the heck knows what this stuff is? DevCon plastic welder. That's what it is. And how you, on these Saab 9.3s, this is a common thing to break. The whole bottom will come all off. So you just glue the bottom back on and then cover it. I did a wire stitching around underneath here, drilled some holes at 45 degrees and then stitched around and then covered it. You can see right there. And then covered it with JB weld and then wrapped some tape around it to form a dam. And inside I filled it for that plastic weld that I just showed you, and then drilled it back down so it was nice and smooth on the inside. That's how you take care of these things. I don't know why they break here all the time, but that's what they do. So enough about that. Here's the switch that you can see all the rest of the accoutrements here, the forward aft, the tilting. These are all the piece parts that come with the switch. These things here were the electrical contacts. They were all corroded green, and so they weren't working at all. And so I went and cleaned them all. You can take this switch apart by getting a putty knife in between where these tangs are. Get a putty knife in between there, and you can take this whole thing apart, and then you can clean these electrical contacts really good, and then lubricate things and put it back together. Be careful, there's a whole bunch of rocker switches, small copper rocker, not a switch, I want to say a switch, but it's not a switch. It's just a rocker contact that are inside here that you got to put back correctly. So once you take this apart, take a picture on how things go back together and it'll be a lot easier for you. And so this is all back going together, and this is the memory switch. There was nothing wrong with this. You can see the contacts are fine, so we're not going to mess with that. And down here, I'm going to fit that side panel, goes right here, right in this area. I'm going to fit that side panel and get it working again, because you got a lot of JB weld and things like that there, so we're going to have to do a little bit more grinding and such, but we'll get it. And then once the panel fits good, the side panel, then we're going to put the switches back on and throw it back in the car. So that's it for the moment, and we will let you know how this Saab 9.3 turns out. Thanks. Well, folks, we're back at the seat on the Saab 9.3. You can see it right there. And then you can see the assembled seat panel here. I've got the switch that's been cleaned. I got this other memory switch that was fine. We've repaired this. We've repaired this. We got a see a wire on there, and we've repaired this tab with adhesive, and you won't be able to see it when the seat is in, so that's good. I've got a cap for this. I've got a cap for this one. I need to buy a cap on the internet for that one. Don't have that one right there. But I've got the screws. I've already test fitted it. It fits good, so it's going on, and the whole assembly is going to go in the car, as you can see over there. And I'll get back to you soon. Hello again, Maury with 316 Automotive here looking at this Saab 9.3. In last video, we wanted to fix the seat because the seat was pulsing forward and aft. And after I took apart the switch here, you can see down there, and cleaned it all out, there was a bunch of corrosion. Put the switch back in, and the seat was still doing the pulsing forward and aft. Got on the net to saabcentral.com, and one of the threads was the memory switch. Take the memory switch out, disconnect it, and if the seat moves smoothly, then let me adjust the light. If the seat moves smoothly, then you know it's your memory switch right there. So I went and did that, and lo and behold, the seat moved smoothly. So I took the memory switch out, I took it apart, I had it ultrasonically cleaned, and then put it all back together. And now I'm going to show you. Voila! It's moving nice and even. So it was the memory switch all along, although the main fore and aft switch did have something to do with it because it was all corroded on the inside and it was going to fail at some point. So I had that ultrasonically cleaned as well. So that's all for the seat situation on this Saab 9.3. I'm going to put this side panel back together, and happy motoring. See ya.